Alright guys, back on this Triumph engine. I just want to show you how I'm going to put this 5-speed gearbox together on this T140. It's a 1973 right hand gear change model. Customer asked me about this the other day, and I went back and done a bit of research, and I thought I'd throw a little video up just to show you what I'm doing with this motor. There's actually nothing wrong with this gearbox. The problems with this engine was the rest of it being badly assembled and causing a few problems, and basically been put together on the cheap, stripped down and put back together, but without replacing any spares and leaving a lot of things loose. But the actual gearbox itself, there was nothing wrong with it, so most of the components are going back in. What I have done while we were in here is replace all the bearings. Things I've done off camera in preparation for this is replace all the bearings. So the LAYSHAFT bearing at the back there, the blind one, that's been renewed. The bearings in the high gear have been renewed, and I'll just go around the other side. The sprocket that's in here now, that's only temporary. The teeth are a bit hooked on it. I'll be swapping that later, but for the purposes of building this gearbox, I'm going to use the old sprocket. When I get round to it and I've got a new sprocket in hand, I'll be fitting the O-ring under the tab washer on here. It doesn't appear in all the parts books, but if you need one, the part number's 711070. I've got one here for when I get the sprocket next week, and you know, I got that off eBay. The needle roller bearings have been replaced, and the oil seal's been replaced. So I won't be tightening that up and torquing it down yet, because that sprocket's only on there to hold it in place. While we do this, you've got to put the high gear in after you've fitted the cam plate, because it fouls. If you try and put the cam plate in afterwards, you'll never get it in because the high gear fouls it. So you have to do that. I did that off camera. I've also fitted the thrust washer at the back there. That's just held in there with a gob of grease. And I've laid out the gearbox bits in the order that they're going to be in there. I'll try and quote your part numbers as I go, just so you can lay it out the same. I've done it in such a way so as I put them in, the nearest one to me is the one that goes in first, and face up goes in first. So I'll just set this camera up so you can see what I'm doing, and it might help you out and speed you up in what I'm doing. Help you out in the long run. The main shaft has to go in with the 4th gear on there, and the part number on that one is 574376, with the 3 dogs facing inwards and the selector already on there. I put a bunch of grease on there just to help hold that one in there, because once it's in there, you can't reach it to get your shaft in afterwards. So put it down, and it's set, and the cam plate's set in neutral position. You just got to put the main shaft in and find the locator for the spigot on the index plate, and then click it from neutral into first. That stops it moving around. So from neutral, when you put that in, you leave it in first from this point on. Then you get your LAYSHAFT. If you bought a new one, it's already going to come with 5th and 4th already on it. With a bit of jiggling, that'll just go straight on there. Then take 3rd gear again with the selector on the camshaft, Get that on the lay shaft and locate the spigot on the selector into the cam plate. Now it looks like it won't fit, but either move the cam plate back a touch or just give it a bit of force and it will go. Probably won't because I've got a camera rolling, but that's the way it is. Right, there you go. So I just moved the cam plate slightly off first, and then that fits in there. Then we take third gear on the main shaft, which is 574378. Let's take the beard hair off there because you don't need that in the gearbox. Get that meshed with the one on the lay shaft. Then the freewheeling gear, second gear lay shaft. These three grooves facing out. Part number on that one is 574658. Get that on the lay shaft. Then main shaft again. First and second gear, 574653. Get that on the main shaft. Mesh it with number 2 on the lay. And then the last one with the selector on for the lay shaft, which is 574655. And this, get that on there and get the little spigot located into the into its relevant groove on the gear change selector. Now with it being in first gear and that last one now being held in place, you should be able to give this a wriggle and the selector shaft, get it all the way back and into the back of the casing, so all the gears are now meshed together. If you're taking this apart, always, even if your gearbox is fine, same with the bearings, always put a new circlip on there. Now, it'll probably make a liar out of me now, but you can normally fit these things without the need of a set of pliers just by giving it a bit of force and opening it with a screwdriver just to get it on there. That's making a liar out of me now. Alright, I'll just go away and get the circle pliers and do it properly. So all the circle pliers I had fitted, but a little bit of brute force and I got there, and just make sure that that new circlip is fitted on there. It's in the groove all the way around, and then the dog is the last thing that goes in there. That one's 574661, and that should be your gearbox index with all the right gears meshing together. Before you start, you want to have took your outer gearbox plate again, gob of grease holding the thrust washer on, new needle roller bearing in there, new bearing fitted, new circlip, replace them every time. Inspect the quadrant. Now you don't want too much sideways play in it, although they don't often wear out. More often than not, it's not the pivot point that wears out, it's the where the quadrant teeth grab on this. and then fit that. What I tend to do is fit it in get it close, and then find the first tooth, move it back one, again leaving it in the first gear position. That will mostly set you right. There is a tool you can get for indexing them properly. If you haven't got the tool, or there's not available at the time, it's just a matter of taking this cover on and off a bunch of times before you fit the gaskets and everything. Trial fit it a couple of times. You don't need to remove the gearbox cogs again. Put the outer cover on, stick a gear lever on, and just rotating the sprocket as if it's driving, and go through the box. If you can select all the gears, then you're good to go. Take this fella off again. Put your gaskets, get your RJB weld on there, glue it up, because you know Triumph leaks. Let's not have the fellas in the car park laughing at you for your leaky yard Triumph. Use some decent sealants on the gaskets, just then, don't go crazy like. And a bit of trial and error, you might find that the second tooth on the quadrant is put you in the best place. It depends whether you're building a stocker or a chopper. I just thought, after a quick conversation with a customer there, I just thought I'd throw this little video up because it might save you a bunch of time reassembling and disassembling and getting it all wrong several times, like I probably would normally do. I'm amazed I got that one first time. You know, I was hoping for a lot of mistakes so I could show you my mistakes, but this one went in quite easy. Well, yeah, again, hope it helps. And yeah, if you like what I'm doing, throw us a little like on the video and subscribe, and I'll keep throwing these things up as I'm doing this stuff. Cheers for watching. Thank you very much.